Today we continue our oversight of the administration's response to ISIS and to Islamist extremism. And specifically, we'll be looking at the State Department's effort to counter ISIS's message online. As the committee heard last month, the Internet is awash with terrorist propaganda. And this includes horrific videos of beheadings, of firing squads, of torture of men, women, and children. And ISIS operates a vast network of online recruiters, online propagandists. The mission of these individuals is to expand their ranks across multiple continents, including our continent, including right here at home. So this is, on the Internet, what would be called their virtual caliphate. They use popular media sites, and through that process, ISIS can reach a global audience. It does this within seconds. Once lured in, they communicate privately on platforms with sophisticated encryption, encouraging tens of thousands, including many from Western countries, to travel to Syria, to travel to Iraq, to travel to Libya, to join the fight. But more and more, the virtual caliphate is calling on its followers not to take that trek to Syria or Iraq or Libya or other camps, terrorist camps that they've set up, but instead to attack where they are, to take up arms at home. That's the new messaging. And Orlando is a grim example of that. We will hear today ISIS's online presence is just as critical to the organization as the large amounts of territory that it controls, whether that control be in Iraq or Syria or Libya. Defeating ISIS on both the physical and virtual battlefields requires very strong, very decisive action. Now, in the past, unfortunately, the State Department efforts to respond to extremist content online have struggled. Its Center for Strategic Counterterrorism Communications was designed to identify and to respond to extremist content online. Yet, because its communications were branded with the official State Department seal, nobody listened. In March, the President issued an executive order to revamp this effort, renaming it the Global Engagement Center. And Richard Stengel, our new Undersecretary for Public Diplomacy and Public Affairs, is here with us to testify today. It was given the mission to lead the government-wide effort to diminish the influence of international terrorist organizations. And so we look forward to hearing from the Department on how the Global Engagement Center is taking on this fight. At a basic level, key questions remain, including the type of message that would be most effective in the face of this virulent ideology. Some suggest that the voices of disaffected former jihadists are particularly potent in deterring future jihadists. These are individuals who quickly discovered that life under ISIS was not as advertised, is not the utopia that they were promised, and they have the skill to communicate just how disillusioned they were. But if this is the message, how should it be delivered? Should the federal government produce and disseminate content? Is the federal bureaucracy equipped for such a fast-moving fight? I suspect not. Does any association with the State Department mean this message is dead on arrival? As one witness told the committee last month, worst of all, government is by definition risk-averse, which is the opposite of what you have to be online. Previous witnesses suggested that a more effective approach could have the U.S. government issuing grants to outside groups to carry out this mission. This would have the advantage of allowing the U.S. government to set the policy, but put those with the technical expertise and credible voice in the driver's seat. After all, such separation and distance from the U.S. government has helped our democracy promotion programs through the National Endowment for Democracy, for those of us that remember their method of operation over the years. They work in areas of the globe where official U.S. support just isn't feasible. And what role should technology companies play in all of this? What about that sector? In recent weeks, some have announced promising new technologies that would automatically remove extremist content as soon as it goes online. We need everyone acting in sync, including the tech sector, including the entertainment industry, including the government. And time is of the essence. If we don't come to grips with the virtual caliphate now, this struggle against Islamist terrorism will become more challenging by the day. So I'll now turn to the ranking member, Mr. Elliot Engel of New York, for any opening comments that he may have.